see is the way these nets work. The bird was flying this way. It flew into the net and then falls down into the shelf here and gets stuck, right? So this guy, this is a Tennessee warbler. He's heading north to nest. He will not nest here. Eats insects. He just spent the winter in Colombia and Ecuador. 58. Now we're gonna basically give him some jewelry. So we just wrap it around. And we just close it down. We have to make sure that it's good and sealed because we don't want any debris or sticks or dirt or anything catching on it. So we make sure the band is good and tight.
Why are you not using colors in these guys?
Because so I'm gonna try to let him go so you can kind of see, but he's not really. So male northern cardinal, very common urban bird. Okay, anybody want to let him go?
Nope.
We want to learn about the birds, right? We need to know where they go. We want to study how long they live, what the threats are to them. So by doing this, we can learn a lot more about the birds themselves, especially if we know individual birds. Oh, you have to have a permit to ban birds. You have to have what's called a master banding permit, which allows you to only experienced people who've done this a lot are allowed to actually ban birds. So I have a master permit that I have to carry with me. It allows me to ban birds in Virginia and West Virginia. It allows me to ban them, use mist nets, which we set up, and use other traps. Now I can ban songbirds, but I'm not authorized to ban waterfowl or hawks or eagles. You need special permits for that. Or endangered species. I cannot ban endangered species unless you have a special permit. We spend millions of dollars every year surveying mostly waterfowl, but we have 9 planes that we're actually flying right now counting ducks so that we can regulate how many ducks can be taken every year, hunted. But we also do a lot of other counts where we go out and count birds and habitats. It's mostly project specific, but I would estimate anywhere between $5 and $10 million a year is spent on monitoring, counting, surveying, netting, banding birds.
I'm Dr. Rich Minnis. I am the Science Coordinator of Training here at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's National Conservation Training Center. And we do a variety of things. This is our training center for all Fish and Wildlife Service personnel and any personnel in conservation throughout the United States and the world. We actually have international components. But we are actually, as we sound, we are a training facility. So we bring folks here into NCTC and we teach them all the techniques they need to do conservation. Whether it's migratory bird conservation, restoration of habitats and wetlands, upland areas. We also teach policy and law, how to apply or comply with laws and policy. So we are actually the actual home for training for all Fish and Wildlife Service. What we're working on right now is what we call strategic habitat conservation. It's a form of landscape scale conservation. So we want to look at things in the big picture, in the big context. And that's why things like banning are so important to us, because as we're banning and we see birds moving around, we get to ban relocations that you heard about, we can actually see where birds move. And we need to manage for birds across their entire area where they live, so all across the landscape. So part of my job is to make sure that we have the latest science being taught to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service personnel on all things, including the landscape scale conservation. So that's one of the biggest projects I'm working on right now.